President Trump made a last-ditch effort Monday night, urging Virginia voters to reject a redistricting ballot measure that could give Democrats as many as 4 pickup opportunities in the House. In a tele-rally alongside Speaker Mike Johnson, Trump called the referendum a blatant partisan power grab and said that nobody's ever really seen anything like it.
Meanwhile, former President Obama released a video last week telling voters to take part in the referendum. Let's watch.
By voting yes, you have a chance to do something important, not just for the Commonwealth, but for our entire country. By voting yes, you can push back against the Republicans trying to give themselves an unfair advantage in the midterms. By voting yes, you can take a temporary step to level the playing field. And we're counting on you.
But many people online are shocked by the potential new districting maps. Attorney Matthew Clark writing on X, it's an insane power grab to make Virginia more blue than California.
Still others are promoting the initiative. Political commentator Harry Sasson said, quote, Virginia, vote in favor of redistricting, fight back against Trump and the MAGA lunatics trying to ruin this country.
Oh, we don't. I wish we could show the one I tweeted. I guess go to my Twitter feed. This district that they're creating that looks like a lobster. It is insane to add these deep, very red areas of Virginia, a mostly red state, except for the high population northern Virginia suburbs of D.C. just across the river. They're in Virginia. It's not. Yeah, you can't really see it on those.
You need to zoom into a specific
there's
district.
This lobster-looking thing that is crazy.
I saw
that's going to attach. You saw it.
Yes, I saw it.
It's going to attach the red of the Shenandoah Valley to the deep, little bit of blue, but there's so many people in it. That's Arlington, effectively. It is obscene.
Well, land is not voters. People are voters. So,
Okay,
that's
but the
one
people
thing.
voting there have nothing in common with some government, some federal employee who, technically lives in Arlington, but is really a person of the swamp, the District of Columbia. And they're going to be telling those rural, Trump-loving people who's going to represent them. I mean, I know this is nothing new. I know this happens
on both sides of the aisle,
all over the country, but it is obscene what they are trying to do in the name of saving democracy. They're going to make the state bluer than California.
It's pretty blue.
Yeah, I'm blue.
You are wearing blue. Maybe you're excited about this more than you say. The actual map looks kind of like how you're dressed. Yeah, it's just a little bit of slither of red, and then blue
claws coming at
sleeves.
You.
Yeah,
the lobster.
I've said this before when Texas was doing this. I don't like redistricting. I don't like gerrymandering. I think it's a political game that Congress is playing as opposed to getting people just to vote them into power and make decisions and be held accountable by constituents. They want some overwhelming majority so that they can kind of do more of what they want. Because Texas just did this year and kind of started this, is a little bit of petty inside of me. That's very much Texas started this nonsense for these upcoming midterms. And so California responded. Virginia responded by asking folks, as unlike Texas, they asked voters in these places if they would like to do this. Texas kind of just did it, right? So there's a difference in asking voters. So if voters say yes, we will see. And that'll just be the bottom line. Tell Texas to take a page out of that playbook. You said let voters decide if they want people with misconduct allegations in Congress.
Ask voters at some weird, unusually scheduled election whether we should totally redraw the map in an unfair way to limit the representation of Republicans and conservatives.
So, our show, the beginning half of it anyway, airs on DC News Now. I was watching that earlier, and the local reporters were explaining that there is extremely high amounts of interest in this local random race, that's a special election, that people are really caring about this redistricting fight, more than any other one-off election. So that should be a good sign that people are engaged and have a feeling about it. It's not a landslide.
This is insane.
But I know it's not an automatic landslide for Democrats. They're going to have to argue their point. But I prefer that if you're going to do gerrymandering, which I don't agree with, that at the very least you ask the people that you will be doing it to if they like it. Texas did not do that, but they still went through with their new maps. And I think that because they started to play this political ping pong, it's happened for years, like you said. So we can point to historically how many times it's happened that affected different elections. But this current midterms is coming up. Texas just did this to essentially affect those midterms. And now Virginia is trying to respond. And that's what Obama was saying, a temporary response to what Republicans have done in Texas. And so while I don't agree with it, I understand.
So much for being above the fray. So much for saying just Democrats in general and Obama, just return to decency. No, it's one up them. What happened when they go low, we go high?
So we're
going to one up them at their own game.
Yeah, I love to say that. And Michelle Obama was never a political candidate. So Michelle Obama could go wherever she wants to. That doesn't mean anybody in the party has to go with her. She literally never ran for office. She has a thought as a wife of someone who ran for office and an esteemed,
I think we don't need to
successful lawyer.
Gerrymandering anymore. It's lobster mandering or something like that.
I'm sorry you're so riled up about it. I know you had plans to possibly move to Virginia one of these days as you start to settle down and have a family.
Represented by Democrats who want to.
Well, you have a tough choice. Democrats in D.C. or Democrats in Virginia.
Yeah.
Sorry. Or you can go to Maryland. There's more Democrats there. Or you can move to New York. His mom, Donnie, right there.
Shame.
The media industry is really present in certain locations, so you're going to have to go where that is. And looks like all Democrats, even California, if you want to get into entertainment news. Democrats.
I don't want to go anywhere of the sort. D.C. is going to be so much worse managed when our current mayor retires, unfortunately. Arlington is
have some, you got to be glass half full.
Slightly better.
You can't always be glass half empty all the time. You gotta have the next person could come in and be amazing.
No.
They could be a libertarian leaning Democrat.
There's no such thing. I wish there was. I guess there's Jared Polis is kind of a libertarian leaning Democrat. He's about the only one I can think of. Libertarians just don't fare well in trying to get in. They weren't even the libertarian candidate for president wasn't even on the ballot in D.C. That's the difficulty the party had. I had to do a write-in.
Wow.
For him, for Chase Oliver.
I'm so sorry. You gotta start to push harder than where you live.
I mean, I do.
There has to be more than just Robbie out here that feel this way, right?
Maybe I should run.
I'd love to see that. I might go against everything in my being and just support your campaign.
That would be so kind of you, but you would not support my campaign would be, actually my campaign wouldn't even be very libertarian because I want to line my neighborhood with, I want police everywhere and I want curfews for young people. I don't want young people allowed out of their homes and so on and so forth.
And you want to abolish every single
people who don't
agency.
Pay the fare and jump the thing on the metro will be shot on sight.
Stop. Kinsley did see the National Guard the other day out here. She said hi. They said hi.
That's good.
Very
Isn't
cute.
that nice?
It was very nice.
I do that too. I say hi and they wave hi to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
I have the maturity level of your young daughter.
Tucker Carlson says he's sorry for helping Donald Trump get reelected and says he'll be, quote, tormented by it. We're going to be right back.